What if some of the foods you eat every single day are slowly damaging your kidneys without you feeling a thing? What if the real danger isn't just salt or diabetes, but common food sitting in your kitchen right now? Over 37 million adults in the US alone have kidney disease, and most of them don't even know it. Your kidneys filter around 50 gallons of blood every single day, yet they rarely send warning signs until serious damage is already done. The scary part is that kidney damage builds quietly over years through small daily choices. Many of the worst offenders are foods people believe are harmless or even healthy. So keep watching as we uncover the top 10 foods that destroy your kidneys, starting with the ones you'd least expect. Number 10, high sodium processed foods. Most people hear one message over and over again. Salt is bad for your kidneys, but that message is incomplete and often misleading. The real issue is not salt by itself. The real danger comes from where the salt is coming from and what is missing alongside it. High sodium foods usually mean packaged and processed foods. Things like canned soups, frozen meals, TV dinners, instant noodles, packaged sauces, chips, and fast food. These foods are loaded with sodium, but they are almost completely empty of potassium. That imbalance is what creates the problem. In real food, sodium naturally comes paired with potassium. This balance helps regulate fluid levels, blood pressure, and kidney workload. But when sodium enters the body alone, without potassium to counter it, the kidneys are forced to work overtime. They retain more sodium, hold on to more water, and blood pressure begins to rise. Higher blood pressure creates extra friction inside the tiny blood vessels of the kidneys. These vessels are extremely small and delicate. Over time, this constant pressure damages the microvessels and the tiny filtering units called nephrons. This damage happens quietly and builds slowly. The result is fluid retention, swelling, and increased kidney strain, and most people never feel it happening. This does not mean you should fear salt. In fact, many people do better with adequate salt intake. The key is where you use it. Salt should be added to real food, especially potassium-rich foods like leafy greens, vegetables, and whole foods. When sodium and potassium enter together, the kidneys handle them efficiently. The danger is not salt on your food. The danger is salt hidden inside processed food with no potassium to balance it. Number 9, coffee creamers. Most people think coffee creamer is just cream with flavor, but most coffee creamers contain no cream at all. They are chemical mixtures designed to look and taste creamy without using real dairy. These products are usually labeled as non-dairy, but that does not make them healthy. Instead of cream, they often contain vegetable oils, emulsifiers, artificial flavors, artificial colors, and stabilizers. Some even contain titanium dioxide, which is used to make products look whiter and smoother. Once these chemicals enter the body, they must be filtered out. That job falls heavily on the kidneys. Over time, these additives weaken the membranes inside the kidneys that control what stays in the blood and what gets filtered out. When kidney membranes become damaged, they start leaking protein into the urine. This is often one of the earliest warning signs of kidney damage, and many people never notice it unless they get lab work done. Another issue with coffee creamers is frequency. Many people use them daily, sometimes multiple times per day. That means a constant chemical load passing through the kidneys with no real nutritional benefit. Real cream, milk, or even nothing at all is far less stressful for the kidneys than these artificial products. The kidneys are designed to filter waste, not manage daily exposure to manufactured additives. Over time, the repeated exposure adds up, weakening kidney tissue and lowering filtering capacity. Number 8, alcohol. Alcohol stresses the kidneys in several different ways, even when consumed in moderate amounts. The first issue is dehydration. Alcohol increases fluid loss, which means the kidneys have less water available to dilute and flush out waste. When fluids are low, toxins become more concentrated. This makes filtration harder and increases stress on kidney tissue. Alcohol also increases uric acid production. Uric acid forms sharp crystals that can irritate and damage tissue. The kidneys must clear this uric acid from the blood. When levels stay high, these crystals can contribute to kidney stones and long-term tissue damage. Pure alcohol on its own is one issue, but most people consume alcohol with added sugars, sweeteners, and artificial mixes. These combinations multiply the burden on the kidneys. Sugary mixes raise uric acid even further. Artificial sweeteners add chemical stress. Over time, this combination creates repeated injury to kidney tissue. Occasional intake may not cause immediate harm, but regular use slowly chips away at kidney function, often without symptoms. Number 7, green smoothies. Green smoothies are often seen as the definition of healthy eating, but for some people they can quietly cause kidney problems when consumed incorrectly or too often. Many common smoothie ingredients like spinach, almonds, beets, and certain greens are very high in oxalates. Oxalates are natural compounds, but when intake is high and the body cannot handle them properly, they can form crystals. These crystals can travel through the bloodstream and end up in the kidneys, where they may contribute to stone formation and tissue irritation. How your body handles oxalates depends on several factors. A strong gut microbiome can break them down. Adequate minerals like calcium and magnesium can bind them in the gut and prevent absorption. Citrate from lemon can reduce crystal formation once oxalates enter the bloodstream. Problems arise when these supports are missing. Low stomach acid reduces mineral absorption. Mineral deficiencies prevent binding. A weak gut microbiome limits breakdown. Dehydration concentrates oxalates. Constipation increases absorption time. So green smoothies are not automatically bad. But daily large servings without variety, minerals, hydration, and gut support can overload the kidneys over time. Number 6, artificial sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners are often promoted as a smart alternative to sugar, especially for people worried about weight or blood sugar. But for the kidneys, these substances can be just as harmful, and in some cases even worse. The biggest issue is that these chemicals are not recognized or handled well by the body, so the kidneys are forced to deal with them directly. Aspartame is one of the most common artificial sweeteners. Once inside the body, it breaks down into methanol. Methanol is not harmless. It further breaks down into formaldehyde and formic acid. These are toxic compounds, and the kidneys must filter them out of the bloodstream. Repeated exposure creates ongoing chemical stress on kidney tissue. Sucralose causes a different problem. It interferes with how kidney tubules work. Tubules are responsible for reabsorbing water and minerals while removing waste. When their function is disrupted, filtration becomes inefficient. This can lead to imbalances, dehydration at the cellular level, and higher toxin concentration. Acetylsulfame potassium is especially concerning because it accumulates inside kidney tissue. Instead of passing through quickly, it lingers. It damages mitochondria, which are the energy-producing parts of cells. When kidney cells lose energy, they cannot maintain normal structure or function. All 3 sweeteners directly damage kidney cells over time. The damage builds slowly, often without symptoms, until filtering capacity is reduced. Number 5, processed meats. Protein often gets blamed for kidney problems, but protein itself is not the issue. Real whole meat provides amino acids that the body uses to repair tissues, including kidney tissue. The real problem starts when meat is heavily processed. Processed meats include sausages, hot dogs, deli meats, bacon, and packaged meats. These foods contain phosphate preservatives to extend shelf life and improve texture. They also contain nitrates and nitrites, along with chemical byproducts created during smoking and high heat cooking. These compounds increase the acid load in the body. The kidneys must neutralize and remove this acid, which increases their workload. Over time, this repeated stress leads to scarring inside the kidney tissue. Phosphate additives are especially harmful because they are absorbed almost completely. This leads to abnormal mineral buildup, calcification, and stiffness inside the kidneys. As scarring increases, filtering efficiency declines. So it is not meat that causes the damage. It is the chemicals added to meat that slowly wear down kidney function. Phosphate-laden foods. Phosphate is essential for life. Along with calcium, it forms the structure of bones and teeth. But there is a major difference between natural phosphate found in whole foods and inorganic phosphate added to processed foods. Inorganic phosphate additives are absorbed at very high rates. Once absorbed, the body has limited control over where they go. Excess phosphate does not stay in bones. It begins to deposit in soft tissues, especially the kidneys and blood vessels. The kidneys are not designed to store phosphate. Over time, these deposits cause internal hardening and disrupt the normal calcium to phosphate balance. This imbalance damages kidney structure from the inside. As calcification increases, kidney tissue becomes stiff and less functional. Blood flow and filtration suffer. This process happens quietly and often goes unnoticed until kidney function has already declined. Number 3. NSAIDs. NSAIDs include common painkillers like ibuprofen and naproxen. These drugs are widely used and easily available, which makes many people assume they are safe. The problem is how they affect kidney blood flow. The kidneys receive a very large portion of the body's blood supply because filtration requires oxygen and nutrients. NSAIDs block chemical messengers that help maintain this blood flow. When these messengers are blocked, blood supply to the kidneys drops. With less blood and oxygen, kidney cells are forced to work under stress. Waste products accumulate because filtration slows down. Cells begin to suffer damage and some die. Occasional use may not cause lasting harm, but frequent or long-term use can lead to permanent loss of kidney tissue and reduced filtering capacity. Number 2, seed oils. Seed oils are sold as vegetable oils and are found in many packaged foods. Examples include corn oil, soybean oil, canola oil, and similar products. The issue is not the plants they come from, but the way the oil is extracted. These oils are produced using very high heat, pressure, and chemical solvents. This process damages the fat molecules and creates toxic byproducts called aldehydes. Aldehydes are harmful to kidney cells. They damage the glomeruli, which are the tiny filters in the kidneys, and scar the tubules that handle reabsorption. With repeated exposure, the filtration membranes begin to break down. Over time, this leads to reduced kidney efficiency and long-term structural damage. Number 1, sugar. Sugar is the most damaging food for the kidneys, especially because of its fructose content. Fructose is processed almost entirely by the liver. During this process, it rapidly depletes cellular energy and produces uric acid as a byproduct. Uric acid forms sharp crystals. These crystals travel through the bloodstream and must be filtered by the kidneys. Their abrasive structure irritates and damages kidney tissue. Over time, uric acid contributes to stone formation, inflammation, scarring, and permanent loss of kidney function. This damage builds slowly, often without warning signs. Because sugar is present in so many foods and drinks, exposure is constant. That is why sugar sits at the top of the list as the biggest threat to kidney health. If this video helped you understand what's really damaging your kidneys, let us know in the comments below. I'd like to know which one surprised you the most. If you found value here, make sure to like the video so more people can see it. Subscribe to the channel if you want simple, honest explanations about health and how the body actually works. Also, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future videos that can help you protect your health before problems show up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.